Okay, let's dive right into this fascinating explainer on why our primary economic metric is, well, totally failing us, and how a revolutionary new framework called the Gross Flourishing Product, or GFP, is stepping up to fix it. Because right now, we're trying to govern one of the most massive technological transformations in human history using a tool designed for 1940s wartime mobilization. Today, we're going to explore exactly why using that outdated compass is causing so much friction in our society, and more importantly, how we can chart a much better path forward. So for 80 years now, we've been obsessively measuring transactions. We literally count everything that's bought and sold. But I want you to look at this core question for a second. Are we actually measuring what makes life worth living? Think about it. Does knowing the sheer monetary volume of a nation's commerce actually tell you if its citizens are healthy or capable or socially connected? The source material we're unpacking today makes a really compelling case that for decades, we've been completely confusing economic production with actual human welfare.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to break down the wrong measurement tool we've been using, explore the AI measurement paradox, introduce the GFP framework and its 6 domains of flourishing, talk about democratizing these metrics, and wrap up with how to join the revolution.
All right, jumping into Section 1, the wrong measurement tool. Basically, 80 years of using a broken compass.
Now, it might actually surprise you to learn that gross domestic product was never, ever designed to measure human well-being. Back in the 1930s, an economist named Simon Kuznets developed national income accounting really just so Congress could wrap its head around the sheer scale of the Great Depression. Then, in the 1940s, it got adapted to measure our total industrial capacity to win World War II. It was literally a wartime instrument. But somehow, in the post-war era, this metric, built purely for total economic mobilization, mutated into the absolute dominant benchmark of national success that literally every politician campaigns on.
And the historical irony here is just staggering. Simon Kuznets, the actual guy who created this metric, explicitly warned Congress in 1934 not to use his creation as a measure of societal health. He knew perfectly well that a raw calculation of national income couldn't tell you if a nation was actually flourishing. And yet, for 80 years, the entire global economic system has just completely ignored the warning of the very man who built the thing. To really see why this is such a huge problem, have you ever noticed the bizarre moral blindness of our economy? Just look at this comparison. Under GDP, a factory polluting a river is actually a massive economic win. You get the value of the factory's output, plus the financial transactions for the environmental cleanup, plus the skyrocketing medical costs of the sickened communities downstream. Ka-ching! It all boosts GDP. Meanwhile, the unpaid labor of a parent raising a child or someone caring for an aging relative, that counts for absolute zero. Even wilder. If a society invests heavily in preventative health and actually stops people from getting sick, healthcare spending drops and GDP actually shrinks. It's like the economist Joseph Stiglitz said, if we measure the wrong thing, we will do the wrong thing.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, the AI measurement paradox. This is all about uncounted abundance.
Take a really close look at this number. Researchers at MIT estimate that the median U.S. consumer values free search engines at $17,530 a year. Email alone is valued at around $8,000. Yet because these are free digital goods, they contribute absolutely zero to GDP. Think about the massive, everyday utility generated by AI coding assistants, translation services, or educational tools today. They offer staggering value to millions of us, but because no money actually changes hands, GDP is just completely blind to them.
So this creates what the source calls the AI measurement gap. Our technological abundance is making things free and super accessible. I mean, remember when a set of encyclopedias cost thousands of dollars and boosted GDP? Then Wikipedia comes along, offers a free, vastly superior product, and effectively shrinks that industry's GDP footprint. AI is doing exactly this across the entire economy right now. If we trust our broken compass of GDP, the economy might actually look like it's stagnating. But in reality, human knowledge and capabilities are expanding exponentially. We're trying to navigate the most consequential economic shift in a century using an instrument designed for wartime scarcity. It just doesn't make sense.
All right, Section 3, introducing the Gross Flourishing Product. Finally, a metric for human well-being.
So to fix all of this, the Moonshot Press and the Institute for Salugenesis are proposing this new framework, the Gross Flourishing Product. And it asks a totally different question. It stops asking, how much stuff did we buy and sell, and starts asking, are the actual conditions of human flourishing, like our health, our shared prosperity, our social fabric, are those actually getting better or worse? It's a fundamental shift from measuring raw transactions to measuring the actual quality of our societal foundation.
The whole philosophical core of the GFP is heavily based on Aaron Antonovsky's salutogenic theory, which is a fancy way of saying it focuses on what creates health rather than just what cures disease. The core indicator they use here is called the sense of coherence. It basically evaluates three things. Can citizens actually comprehend the world around them? Do they have the resources to manage their challenges? And do they find meaningfulness in their lives? Right now, AI is making the economic world way less comprehensible, less manageable, and less meaningful for millions of displaced workers. The GFP treats that as a public health crisis and measures it directly.
But here is the absolute game changer, the most morally significant innovation of the GFP, its harm distinction. Unlike GDP, which blindly treats $1 of opioid revenue exactly the same as $1 of child nutrition, the GFP actively penalizes economic activity that causes measurable public harm. Addictive product design, reckless housing speculation, displacing workers without transition support, those things will actually drive your GFP score down. On the flip side, preventative healthcare, affordable housing, renewable energy, those drive it up. Outcomes, not just intentions or transactions, are what determine if something is truly productive.
Which brings us to Section 4, the 6 domains of flourishing. What really matters?
The GFP tracks our society across these 6 very intuitive domains. First, vital health, meaning actual wellness, not just how much we spend on healthcare. Second, distributed prosperity, evaluating if the median household is actually secure, rather than just looking at the top 1%. Then we have capability and agency, social fabric, ecological integrity, and finally, the AI abundance dividend, which measures what AI creates for society as a whole, not just for corporate shareholders. And by default, these are all weighted equally so we get a truly holistic big-picture view of our world.
Now check out this hypothetical 2026 baseline scenario. See how the AI abundance dividend is rising to 57, but notice that very high equity gap in the right column. That means the gains are completely concentrated among capital owners. At the exact same time, social fabric is declining to a 41, and vital health is dropping too. A traditional GDP report would look at this tech boom, show 2.5% growth, and declare the economy perfectly healthy. But the GFP dashboard reveals the actual reality. We have a society generating massive AI abundance, but completely failing to distribute it, all while its human foundation literally crumbles.
Okay, Section 5, democratizing our economic metrics, putting power back in the hands of the citizens.
You see, the GFP isn't just some spreadsheet locked away in an ivory tower think tank. It is designed as a framework for real democratic governance. It features a 4-phase rollout that's actually starting in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And here's the coolest part. Random, stratified citizen assemblies will actually review the evidence and set the weightings for the 6 domains themselves. Because a measurement system designed and imposed entirely by technical experts is just another tool of the governing class. But a metric that citizens actually help construct, that gives people the power to genuinely hold their government accountable.
And for everyday use, they fold a simple 3-question GFP policy scorecard right from the main framework. You can ask this of literally any proposed policy or budget. 1. Does this make the forces shaping citizens' lives more comprehensible? 2. Does it make their circumstances more manageable? And 3. Does it make civic engagement more meaningful? It's this brilliant, rapid assessment tool that allows any citizen to stand up at a town hall and ask an elected official, hey, by these 3 standards, is your policy making things better or worse?
Section 6, join the measurement revolution. This is very much a work in progress.
The creators of the Gross Flourishing products make it super clear that this is not some final, static answer set in stone. It's an invitation. It's a living, breathing project that invites communities all over the world to join the process. Continuing to measure our national success by GDP is honestly morally negligent at this point, because it actively rewards pollution and addiction while completely ignoring health creation and ecological integrity. We simply cannot navigate an AI-driven future with a metric built for 1940s wartime scarcity. So I want to leave you with this final, vital thought to ponder about your own community. We measure what we value. For 80 years, we have valued transactions. The GFP asks us to finally start valuing what makes human life actually worth living. Because ultimately, a society that cannot govern its own measurement framework cannot truly govern itself. If you held the dashboard for your city or your country, what would you measure? Think about it. And thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today.